any way to kill a Delver on the play either. So which player's on the play? Let me grab the standings real quick. And we see...
And there's also not like just the get out of jail free card I win automatically.
No.
That they're, I played Geistunner Monk. He doesn't have any copies of that. I think that card against Delver, like anytime I've ever resolved it, you just win. So
that card was so good against Delver.
that's
Daniel,
one I like a lot.
Daniel Weiser did finish higher in the standings, so he will have the option to play or draw.
That's pretty huge here.
That's very big.
I think this matchup is pretty dependent on die roll.
I think a lot of the matchups in Standard right now are pretty dependent. If you're not playing a control deck, I think it's like between zombies, any green-red based pod deck or green-white based pod deck, and Delver being on the play is like an extremely big advantage because of these cards like Delver, Gravecrawler, Digraph Ghoul, and Birds of Paradise. Like all these decks want to get 1-drops on the board. They want to just go 1 and then play their important 3-drops. And whoever's on the play usually has an advantage, especially with blue-white Delver having a bunch of gut shots, but there's only 2. He replaced them with a Twisted Image and a Dismember. So he got a little cute in this tournament, but he is in the top 4, and he's showing off that these cards actually matter. So the sweet thing is I'm building up a storyline of what I want asked for the interviews after we're done. And the one thing is, what's the coolest thing you did with your Twisted Image?
Yes. That's definitely a good one to have on.
And killing a turn 1 birds is actually, that's probably the coolest thing you can actually do. It's just so much fun to kill a birds and draw a card on turn 1. Like the best stat scour of all time. But as these players shuffle up, who do you think has the advantage knowing that Weiser only has 2 gut shots, but he is on the play?
Weiser.
Yeah. It's a tough
Delver
one.
deck on the play.
Yeah, Delver on the play against Nyapod. Again, the biggest issue about this matchup is Brandon can't interact with him in the first... almost throughout the entire game. So if Daniel can disrupt him a couple times, it's very hard for a deck with Nyapod's inconsistent mana base to just like get through that smooth draw and beat down some pressure plus disruption. But if blue-white stumbles 1 turn, then Nyapod's like, oops, here's my 1, 3, 4, 5 drop or draw, where I just play a Blade Splicer into Restoration Angel or Hunt Master and get a bunch of permanents on the board. So let's see. All right. So Brandon's going to be going down to 6. Delver has kept his 7.
Brandon, pretty good about mulligans.
Yeah. The sweet thing is we woke up to a whole bunch of spoilers. So sometime today when we have a little bit of extra time, we're just going to go through all these spoilers because there are some sweet cards. Like there are 2 cards that are really, really big on my favorite. The Mana Stone, like, that's just a quick one. We'll just talk about that for a second, because I am playing Vessel of Endless Rest in the deck that I'm playing right now, and they made a way better one.
Yeah, that's a lot better than a Vessel of Endless Rest,
that
my
card
friend.
is so insane.
It fixes every last bit of mana that you could ever want to be fixed.
Yeah, I've known of people that are playing a deck, and then they make the card specifically for what they're playing at the moment. And the cool thing about the deck that I'm playing is a lot of cards do stay in the format, so I don't really have to worry too much, but I was shocked when I saw it. Well, Elishnor's gone, and Sun Titan, and Fantastic. Okay, never mind. I will have to replace a lot of the cards, but the general strategy is still there.
I mean, the card I'm really excited about has an X in its casting cost.
I'm scared of that card.
That card is a little too good.
Yeah, it's very good. They found a way to make the ability relevant at all times. But Brennan's got his 6. Let's see if he keeps. All right, so he's going to mulligan again. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the stream off, and then we're going to restart the match where he gets to be at 7 cards, because I want a good match. Okay, that's not actually going to happen. We can't do that. But one of these days, Jake, they're going to let me do something like that.
And then you just won't know what to do.
Both players start at 10 cards, because I said so. Gonna play 2 lands a turn and draw 3. Playing crazy magic.
So, something that's really good about Brandon Nelson is his ability to not go on tilt, to not get affected by these things like mulligans to 5.
Oh, no, yeah.
You know, I've played against him where I top decked 2 turns in a row to beat him. And he just, like, smiled and, like, picked up his cards and went to the next game and played really well the next game.
The only time I ever saw him really, really emotional was when he double lost at Nationals. I mean, I've been in those same shoes where you end up the alternate, and he was only mad because he made 3 big mistakes, and it was, he's so judgmental of his own game.
So they're not a great opener for Brandon Nelson, but when you're on 5 cards, having 3 lands and all the mana you need,
I mean,
it can't really be that bad.
No.
If he gets a mana accelerant, maybe a 2-drop, that hand can turn into something pretty important. All right, so Daniel Weiser now with full knowledge. He's going to get to play around that Restoration Angel if he wants to, and he can leave an open Mana Leak mana on the turn that Brandon Nelson is going to cast that Huntmaster. So looking pretty good for Daniel here. All right, so with that Ponder, taking a look at what's available to him. It is a Delver that he can set up, I believe.
Delver on top, right? Because you always lead with a Delver if it's...
Oh, I thought it was on top. Never mind. I believe it might be a Geist, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he actually kept land Geist, and I don't know. Depending on how many lands are in his opening hand, that might not be the best route, but...
Your opponent's on 5. If you just Mana Leak the first Accelerant, or the second spell plate if he has a turn 1, then your opponent's down to like 2 cards. The Geist can actually take advantage of the game with a couple of Vapor Snakes or another Mana Leak or something like that. An Angel. It's a hand that can morph into this when your opponent mulligans to so few cards. Nyapod's like best way to attack Delver is to swarm, to either be uncounterable or to just swarm. And when you're mulliganed, you lose access to that.
All right,
so Brandon actually just okay. We do have some way to interact. That's good. Like if we didn't have a way to interact on this turn, this game was all but over.
Yeah, I mean if he just takes 6, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's in a super bad spot.
Yeah, Mana Leak or Vapor Snake just stops anything that Brandon would try to do. Even if it's a Huntmaster, would just get Mana Leaked. Any other creature just gets Vapor Snaked. I can't wait for Delver to rotate. Oh wait, only like 2 cards do.
Important ones.
Yeah,
Snag and Ponder. Ponder's pretty...
Snake Ponder. I guess Snake Ponder, Leak Probe are all gone. The core of the card draw. We're left with Thought Scour.
Yeah, but you're left with Thought Scour and you get Charms, and I'm sure it'll exist.
Ooh, Azur's Charm, yeah. Alright, Snag is going to drop Brandon to 19, 13 soon after the Geist plus Angel attack, and puts that Borderline Ranger back into his hand. Is that a Charizard? Okay, now I'm kind of a fan of Daniel now that he has a Charizard.
That is a Charizard. A scary dinosaur. Daniel Weiser leaving open Mana Leak mana. Does Brandon Nelson have the Cavern to punish him for it? He does. Naming
wow.
Human and Huntmaster, the Fells comes down. Brandon going to pop up to 15 here. Make himself a wolf.
Alright, they're just grabbing him a wolf. Alright, and so does Daniel have... So he's going to Thought Scour. So what he wants is another land. That'll allow him to attack with the Geist, get the Angel, then the Geist gets blocked, and then he can Restoration Angel the Geist back into play, deal him 4 damage, keep the pressure. But that's 2 Sea-Chrome Coasts.
Ooh, that's not great for him.
Yeah, that means it's going to be tough for him to attack. So if he attacks with this Geist, do you double block for Brandon, being as far behind as you actually are?
Yes. Snap double block.
Yeah. Daniel's going to want to play a spell. I don't know if he wants to attack with that because he has Restoration Energy. He wants to hold that damage for next turn. So he's just going to Twisted Image, see what happens. That's going to allow the spell for the turn, which will not let the Huntmaster turn into a Ravager.
Just cantripping through.
And this game is going to slow down, which is great. Brandon can actually just play a land, threaten townships, say go. If Daniel does anything with his 2 mana, Brandon can then just Restoration Angel, flickering out that Huntmaster and almost undoing his mulligan.
Yeah, and if Daniel doesn't do anything, then he obviously gets to flip that Huntmaster, which is absurd.
This is just a perfect spot for Brandon. This is the best he could have been doing right now. There's no Pike on the board. Yeah, there's no
And look,
pipe.
he's even flooded. Even has, you know, a lot of land for 5 land. And that Borderland Ranger essentially drew him a card. So far, he's only spent 1 card this game.
Yeah.
Brandon Nelson, and looking very strong here.
I don't know what you do here. I think you want to say.
You just say go.
He's gonna attack. It's an interesting attack. All right, so Daniel's going to take that. I don't know. I mean, they are human, so they do resolve. I guess, yeah, building your board presence is better. Now he gets to play a birds. So what Brandon's doing here is he's not toying around. He just wants to get his board position really high and threaten lethal as fast as possible. He doesn't want to play tricksy with his Restoration Angel. That's fighting an opponent that is better on an axis, on that axis. Like, Daniel's like, okay, you want to be tricksy? I have Snapcasters and Restoration Angels and Vapor Snags, where you have a couple Restoration Angels. What Brandon does have is a swarm of creatures.
So I put a wolf and a golem in front of the Geist.
Yeah. That protects him from Vapor Snag. I wonder why he wouldn't block with both creatures. Does he not want to lose his wolf? Like, why wouldn't you attack with the wolf if you weren't going to block with it? I guess it protects him from Vapor Snag. He just wants to stay as protected from Vapor Snag as possible. But this drops Brandon to 11.
Yeah, and I mean, he's still looking fine. He has the
he's
township
great.
in play.
He's tapped out. He can all in attack, and then Restoration Angel the Huntmaster going back to 13. I guess he can't all in attack against a Restoration Angel. My apologies. Ooh, he has a Birthing Pod. He ripped Pod. So now, looking at his deck list, he has a Wolfrey Silverheart, a Zealous Conscripts, and an Acidic Slime as 5-drops if he wants to use those. If he wants to go get another Huntmaster, he can. He can also go get a Phyrexian Metamorph and kill that Geist of St. Traft.
That seems like a really strong play here.
That not only keeps his Huntmaster in play, so I just want to see he does have the option to attack with the Golem, forcing Daniel to either block with Angel and let it get townshipped and then let the Huntmaster flip, or take 3 damage. So this is a spot where Brandon can get 3 free damage in, unless Daniel's hand is so loaded that he's like, I want you to waste your turn, I will lose my Angel.
Yeah, I think at this point, though, you kind of need to take the 3 free damage, because if his hand is that loaded up,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to win.
So here comes a 3/3 for striking Golem. Alright, so he's going to take it. Daniel's going to drop to 13, and here comes a Birthing Pod.
Yeah, and I mean, with that going, he's got to be a favorite to win this one.
We're a pike short, though. 1 pike takes over this game. So here's for either Huntmaster or a Phyrexian Metamorph, but I can't see it being anything but a Metamorph. It could be an Angel, too. Angel is just strictly better than a Huntmaster, right? I guess you get an extra 2/2. You get a 3/4 and a 2/2. But you get 2 Huntmasters to where they're just forced to play spell, but maybe it's just me and how I play Magic, but if there's a Geist and I have the ability to kill it, I think it's always correct to kill it.
Maybe he reads him for a second Geist.
It's hard to read a Delver player for a second Geist. So he is just going to go grab a Restoration Angel, flickering out the Huntmaster, going to 13.
Another wolf.
So this is going to not only give him a little bit of life and another wolf, but he now has a blocker for the Angel. And now anytime that Daniel wants to get in with his Angel, but he doesn't have any equipment, he's going to have to Vapor Snag that Angel, and the Angel then comes down and gains 1 extra life after the exchange of the life loss from Vapor Snag and the life gain from Hot Master.
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice indeed, Cotton.
Imagine how sick it would have been if he could have grabbed a Geist Hunter Monk there. I just love that card too much.
Especially when no one plays Sword anymore. Probe is going to reveal...
He does have another Geist. So...
But the thing is, if you go get that, then, like...
You force him to tap his
you
mana
miss a
for it.
turn to potentially attack with that Geist. Because that Geist is going to deal 4 damage no matter what. I just, like... In my mind, Snapcaster Mage and Restoration Angel do not hit as hard as Delvers and Geist. So dealing with those creatures is just more important. And once they're handled, you can bleed through Restoration's Snapcaster tricks. All right, there's a Restoration Angel coming in at Brandon. That's a weird attack. He can snap. So what Daniel is threatening is the Restorations bounce. No, they bounce off each other, and then Daniel's going to play a Snapcaster Mage and Twisted Image Brandon's Restoration Angel.
Yes.
That would be a 3/4 that has 3 damage, turning into a 4/3 with 3 damage. It's a sweet little play with Twisted Image.
Yeah, and that's a pretty strong line from Daniel.
Now that, because Daniel's already played a spell, I kind of like blocking and letting him draw a card off that, but just getting that Snapcaster off. Like, not only do you not lose any life, but you don't get that Snapcaster, or you actually get that out of his hand. So what Brandon has to be most afraid of at this moment is he knows Daniel has a Snapcaster Mage because he saw the Twisted Image, or he might think, okay, he might have one of those 2 gut shots too. But it definitely looks like another Angel's on its way. So at this point, then he'd have to play it because he knows there's a Snapcaster Mage, and we're thinking he's playing around a second Geist. Then he would have to put him on all 3 cards, and I don't know. No one's good enough to be able to read 3 different cards in a Delver player's hand. That's usually very hard. So you can't really put your opponent on all 3.
Can't Brandon just win?
Ow.
Cast Hunt Master from his hand, uncounterable from Cavern, sacrifice it to Birthing Pod, go get Zealous Conscripts, take Restoration Angel. You can win through an Angel.
Block. Let's see the 2 big blocks he would block.
Oh, no.
Call him in a Hunt
He's
Master.
short. He's short 2 damage.
Yeah,
But it's pretty hard to win on a swing back from that, especially because Brandon would gain 2.
he'd lose two creatures, but Daniel would lose a Geist. Now if it's Snapcaster Vapor Snag though, then Brandon might lose the game because it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
If it's Snapcaster Vapor Snag, doesn't he lose anyway? It's 4, 7.
Not with a Restoration in
that's my
hand, because then he can have 2 Restorations, 1 at least blocking. What he can do... Alright, so he's going to activate Birthing Pod. Sacrificing Restoration Angel. So his options are Zealous Conscripts, Wolfear Silverheart, or Acidic Slime. This is interesting. What is Brandon's line? The most difficult thing to do is commentate a Birthing Pod player, because none of us really played a ton of pod decks, so we don't know all the lines, and they all have these really intricate ways they win games. So I always find this like really funny, being like, what's he doing? And I have no idea. Okay, so he's actually probably going to untap his Birthing Pod and maybe go get his Infernal. No, I won't get Infernal Titan. That doesn't seem like a good play right now. He's going to take a Restoration Angel. Too bad it was a different creature, then he could blink it and keep it. I love the Avacyn Sword blink rules.
Pretty sweet.
All right, so he stole the angel. Daniel lets that go, and now what is Brandon's line? He still has a Restoration Angel in his hand. If everything blocks accordingly, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's still, yeah, it's still one short of lethal. But then if Daniel has to make a move. So if Daniel doesn't do anything, he has to make a play, or the Huntmaster would flip unless Daniel wants to trade his Geist for the Huntmaster. So yeah, he's like, all right, let's do this.
I'm almost surprised that he didn't cast Huntmaster and then sacrifice that to Birthing Tide to get the Cells Conscripts.
No, because he wants to get that Restoration Angel into play.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, he wants Restoration Angel from his hand to also have an effect on the game. Flip, like, threatening that Huntmaster to flip this turn means that Daniel has to do something, and then if he does something to interact with the Huntmaster, then he gets to Restoration Angel, flipping that Huntmaster back. So Brandon knows that the odds of his Huntmaster flipping from a safely resolved angel are very high this turn. What does Daniel have to do? I feel like there has to be some line of snag Snapcaster. Without that, he has to lose his Geist, and then he has no more army to win the game. Unless he top decks a Pike, but he has to feel that Brandon might have something. So here's a Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage is going to go grab Vapor Snag.
Yeah.
Vapor Snag's probably going to target a Golem. Or he might not even target anything with that, and he might just block and go to 1. I mean, then he has to worry about Bonfire for 1, but that is definitely a line that he could take. That safely keeps his Snag for post-combat spells. But no, he is going to just take care of that Golem, and he's going to block the Huntmaster.
We're going to find a 9 here from that Vapor Snag.
Yeah, there's a block from the Huntmaster. Now Brandon's like, I don't like that trade. I'm just going to Restoration Angel it. Or no, he might just Restoration Angel the Zealous Conscripts. Is Zealous Conscripts at end of turn or until end of turn? I actually don't know. I think it's until end of turn. Because if it's at end, you could Restoration Angel, but I think they're all untils now. So the difference between the difference between until end of turn and at end of turn is it can say until end of turn. Yeah, if it says at end of turn, that's a triggered ability, and that means that you can actually
triggers at the end step.
Yeah, so you can wait till after, during the end step, after those triggers would have happened. You could blink his Zealous Conscripts
and steal something for your whole turn.
For your opponent's turn. They've kind of switched that along with all the Lords, say creatures you control, a lot of cards that you control, and not all creatures, just to clean the game up a little bit.
It used to be fun casting some type of game control, like Grave Commander or something during your opponent's end step, and then having their guy on your turn.
Yep.
But I can understand how it's confusing. And every
sure.
time I ever did it to somebody, when it blew them out, the only reason it blew them out was because they didn't understand what was going on. And that's not really good for the game.
Yeah, that's another reason why I love that they took combat damage off the stack. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to Restoration Angel our Huntmaster. We're not going to want to trade a Huntmaster for Snapcaster Mage. Huntmaster forces Daniel to always play spells or Brandon gets value off of that Huntmaster. But yeah, Daniel's going to drop to 3, and Brandon goes back up to 11 and has another wolf. Man, now this is a pack, right? This is last time we were talking about what's a pack of wolves.
What constitutes a pack of wolves?
Yeah, I think this constitutes a pack of wolves.
I think you're right. I think we definitely have a wolf pack.
Yeah. All right, Daniel's gonna need some kind of miracle to get out of this. All right, he didn't drop
Brandon's
Pike.
just gonna block everything possible.
Oh yeah, you just Huntmaster on Geist, Snapcaster with Wolf, Angel on Angel. Take 4. And Runechanter's Pike does not have Flash and Flash Equip, right? Okay, so I think Brandon's gonna win this game on a Mold of 5.
Well done, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon got there with his Mull to 5, his very, very awkward 5-hand. I mean, you can't mulligan it.
Yeah.
But you don't
Razor
really...
Bridge Thicket, Copperline Gorge, Forest, Huntmaster of the
Yeah.
Fells, Restoration Angel.
You don't feel good. But guess what, guys? We have something to give away right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So
We
for
have 6 free months of Star City Games Premium that we're about to give away.
for you guys that came in, I know it's early on the West Coast. It's just like, oh man, I'm gonna get up to watch this, but I'm still tired. I'm gonna get some coffee and things. But we have 6 months of premium to give away. Do you got a good question? Because last night's question didn't actually exist for me, so it was very awkward.
Well, I'd like to ask about a particular Return to Ravnica spoiler.
Ooh, I might not even know this. Let's.
There's a mythic rare coming out in the new set,
I already know where this is going.
and I think it's pretty good.
It's very good.
In fact, it's so good that I'm scared of it.
I'm very scared of it. I had a nightmare about it last night.
Now, this thing's going to do X damage to people, but it's also going to make them discard X cards. I'd like
So
to
you're
know...
saying you can make a person discard their entire hand and kill a planeswalker?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Or if you have that Flash Dragon in play, then you can, during their draw step, make them discard their hand and
That
fireball
is
them.
disturbing.
So anyway, I'd like to know the name of this new mythic sorcery. It costs red, black, X. It's going to be in Return to Ravnica. And it makes your opponent...
Just read the text.
All right. Deals X damage to target opponent. That player discards X cards.
So good.
X, black, red.
So good. It's very, very good magic card. But let's figure out how people are going to sideboard this
is
match.
ridiculous.
It's so
I'm going to play
insane.
with that magic card. Are you
I'm
gonna play with
not.
that magic
No.
card?
I have. Yeah, I'm going to probably play with that magic
That
card.
magic card's so much fun to play
I'm going to
with.
be playing the Mana Stone. I'm going to have to play a discard.
You have to play that card, yeah.
I'm going to be playing cards that are very bad. I might as well take advantage of, playing good cards with mana acceleration. But these players are sideboarding here. Now let's check Daniel's sideboard. He only has 2 gut shots in the main. But, oh yeah, we watched him yesterday. His gut shot in the sideboard. He destroyed the Delvermere with the Jace's Phantasms out of his board. We watched Daniel yesterday play with his Phantasms. They're not coming in this matchup, but he does have a Talrand, 3 Celestial Purge, 2 Timelies, 3 Image, 3 Jace Phantasms, a gut shot, and a Gate and a Steel Sabotage. So practically nothing for this matchup. He has a gut shot. Timelies aren't good. I don't like Phantasmal Images against Nipods. I liked it before when the decks were starting to be built, but now they're so aggressive that...
Yeah, I mean, now they don't... the problem is, the old pod decks used to just Strangleroot guys chain you. That's all they were trying to do, in 75% of the games. And in those spots, Phantasmal Image is awesome.
Yeah.
The problem is that now if you're setting a Phantasmal Image against these Niapod decks, you're playing a reactive game. And you're playing Phantasmal Image to put something on the table they already have on the table. And if Niapod's getting onto the table before you are as Delver, you're losing.
Yes, very bad.
And what you want your plan to be is you want to play, your turn 1 Delver, you want to get a Geist onto an empty board, you want to, Snapcaster your Taxian Probe as a Silvergill Adept effect.
Yes.
On turn 2, you want to get onto the table fast, and you want to keep them off the table with your Vapor Snags and with your tempo cards.
The best thing a Phantasmal Image has ever done in this matchup for me is I played a turn 1 Delver, flipped it, and then copied my Delver. That's the best thing it's ever done.
I mean, that's actually kind of insane in this matchup.
Oh, it's very good in this matchup, yeah. If I ever feel very behind against an Iapod deck that they have, a lot of, good cards against me, and my deck list is bad, that's my audible mid-tournament, is to just, bring in some images on the play and hope to do that. Set it up on turn 2, flip on turn 3.
Destroy them.
With two Delvers, yeah.
Get a bunch of insectile aberrations going.
Yeah, the other match is just tied up 1-1. And so we're probably only going to be able to watch one of the semifinal matchups before finals, unless they go very, very, very long. But
looking at Brandon Nelson's sideboard, he has access to a Stinger Fling Spider, which he's certainly going to bring in. He has a Daybreak Ranger also coming in. Definitely taking out the Wolfear Silverheart from the main deck. He also has 2 copies of Crushing Vines.
yeah,
And those are definitely coming in.
I actually don't like Daybreak Ranger in this matchup. Daybreak's
don't
actually
like
for the
Daybreak?
pod mirrors. Because they don't interact with each other.
Yeah, I mean, Daybreak Ranger is the best in pod mirrors.
Yeah,
but
they're not good
I
here.
definitely bring it in.
Do you bring it here?
Matchup. Yeah. I like Daybreak Ranger and Delver.
I don't. I always beat it. I can always beat it with as the Delver player. Even back in the day when it was better. You know how this format has grinded down to like this pure form? Well, where we're still like trying to figure out if Daybreak Ranger was good, I still always beat it with my Delver decks. Especially now that like it's Restoration Angel. Like Daybreak was better when Restoration didn't exist, but now that that exists, I'm not a big fan of the card. Like you can't really take the tempo to flip him. He doesn't get any value right away, and you can just Vapor Snake him and he's gone. I think he's a little bit too slow of a card. We'll see if Brandon brings him in or not. I'd be impressed if he does. I think it's just a card that's good against like Bant Pod and 4-color Pod decks. It's a good way to put some pressure and kill a board with one card, and just hope that, you know, make your opponent wait until he bonfires you.
So you think a sideboarding plan? I mean, a sideboarding plan of bringing in 2 Vines and 1 Stern Flame Spider for Acidic Slime, Silver Heart, and Conscripts.
But you also take Infernal Titan out. You just don't need your chain to go that high. Like Infernal Titan.
Yeah, I guess Infernal Titan can definitely come out. So then what's your last card you bring in? Do you bring in like a Pillar or what?
I'd probably bring in either Ancient Grudge or an Arc Trail or something. I like Ancient Grudge in this matchup.
You're crazy.
That's why I play control decks, though. I've been playing a lot of like crazy red-green control decks. I usually have 2 to 3 Ancient Grudges in against Delver.
Really? Man, I didn't even play Ancient Grudge in my Naya sideboard because...
Well, I run...
I mean, it's really good, and I understand that it's really good, but...
All of my decks right now play kind of based red-green because I like Whip Flare and Thrag Tusk, and all of my lists have 4 Ancient Grudge between main and side because it's good against Infect.
Against Infect, I would want as many as I could have. If I could have 6, I would want 6.
That's why I run 4 of them.
You know, but against Delver, I mean, how many can you side in, really?
Daniel's
1?
time to take out. Well, yeah,
2?
1's fine. And you have 2 Crushing Vines, but I don't like using my Crushing Vines always on equipment ever because I like them killing Restoration Angel.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why Crushing Vines is so good, is because you have those options. And, I mean, I don't know how good Crushing Vines is anymore. Yeah, I thought it was really good when I played with it, but back then everybody had sort of War and Peace. Like now
or
people
Consecrated Sphinx.
Exactly. Now people don't have the Sphinxes anymore, and
I mean, they still have
they're on
Pike,
Pike,
and Pike is very fast. You definitely want to interact.
You know, you could just spend a card that costs 2 and do Pike, and spending a card.
Yeah, I like the flexibility of either killing Restoration Angel or Pike.
Or Delver,
because you usually just need the spell to deal with whatever's on the board now, and then go to kill them. Like, you're definitely a board position deck, so you're not trying to figure out positioning 3 turns in advance. You're trying to get your positioning for this turn. So making sure that a Delver, Restoration, or an Insectile Aberration, a Restoration Angel, or a Rune Cheddar Spike is off the board is very essential. Looking at that picture again, it's so good. Thanks to whoever put the picture of the screenshot of me laughing and Jake eating the cake.
Yeah.
I just can't wait till someone's like, I'll get them. I'll send them a cake to the convention center that's failed and be like, you guys suck.
That'd be awesome. If any of you guys are watching and you really hate us,
send us a fail cake.
Send us a cake.
Because we'll feel miserable.
Yeah. There's nothing that would upset us more than receiving a cake right now.
It does have fail on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's taste the tears.
Taste the tears. All right, so let's
salty sweet, salty tears.
Let's see if Daniel's 6 is better than his 7. He's gonna keep. No, we're going to 5. So it's Daniel's turn to go to 5, and he's on the play, and he's Delver, and that's not good. He's gonna want a hand that has Delver Secrets, and a Cantrip, and a Vapor Snake. That's what he needs to win the game with, is a couple Delvers. He's lost all ability to interact with his Restoration Angels, his Geist of St. Traps. They're just not fast enough against Brandon, because Brandon's deck is so ABC. It's just a very play a 1-drop, play a 3-drop, play a 4-drop. The deck is very consistent because there's 8 of each of them, and he just has the same game plan. So Daniel can't put a board presence on the board with 5 cards as well disrupt that's needed to stop that from happening.
Okay, so I really like Brandon Nelson's list. I'm looking at it for a while and thinking about where the format's at right now.
He's been playing this deck forever.
Yeah, one change I do like a lot is making this number a 2 and making this number a 4.
I'm opposite. I actually think Bonfire. So what numbers he was talking about was 3 Birthing Pod, 3 Bonfires is what Brandon's playing, and Jake wants to change it to 2 Birthing Pods, 4 Bonfire. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Bonfire in this format at the current moment. There's a lot of fringe decks, as well as it's not the best card against zombies, and it's not the best card against Delver. It's only good in the mirror matches. Yeah, that's where it has its most potential, and there's not a lot of mirrors.
I love it against zombies and Delver.
I mean, it's fine, but it's not like the card you want.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
I mean, that kind of is.
Maybe it's just me. I'm just not on the Bonfire train. I think it's a good card in the green mirror matches, but I'd much rather just have spot removal against Delver, and I'd much rather just have purges and pillars and just bigger creatures.
But
against
you live
zombies.
in this. You know, if this was Brad Nelson of 2010, you would be with me.
No,
because
I wouldn't.
you live in this horrible world where you never miracle Bonfire, whereas I live in this like happy, bed of flowers where my Bonfire is always sitting on the top of my deck at the perfect moment, and I always 3-for-1 my opponent with it. It just always happens. It always happens.
I played Bonfire at the last Pro Tour, and I miracled it once 4-1, killing one creature.
Like a pilgrim?
Yeah. If it wasn't in my opener, I didn't see it. Ever.
And it was still pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, it was very good. I think Bonfire will be so insane after rotation, but right now I don't think it's one of my favorite cards. So we're on 5, and Stefan wins 2-1, so he is yet to lose. He's going to the finals. We're going to have zombies. If Brandon makes it to finals, this is going to be like the first time. Yeah, he's going to 4. Wow. Wow. So I think we're going to see, the first time I've ever seen it actually, a non-Delver finals.
That's pretty exciting.
And I love the zombie Nyapod matchup.
Also, a match between
interactive.
2 pretty talented players. We're going to have Brandon Nelson facing off against
Oh my
Stefan
god,
Pink.
we're going to get to watch combat.
Oh my god.
We haven't watched combat all weekend yet. We're going to see creatures attack and creatures block more than just 1 or 2 at a time.
It's mind-boggling.
It is. What are Nyapod's bad matchups? Because zombies is a good matchup. Zombie Pod's a little bit weaker, but zombie, like red-green zombies is a pretty good matchup. Maybe it changed because of Flames of the Firebrand. I think if you drop, if that's your turn 3 spell, you can just destroy a Nyapod deck.
I don't know, I'm trying to think, I used to have trouble with the all the Consecrated Sphinx decks. But
Yes, those
don't
are
really exist.
yeah, those are real bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon wouldn't be able to beat my 5-color control deck.
Probably not.
After this tournament, I'll make
I mean,
Brandon
I would lose
play
to
me
like
again.
every Elesh Norn deck, every Consecrated
Yeah.
Sphinx deck. Yeah, the decks that go really big,
Yeah.
you can't beat. The decks that are trying to stay around the middle, the decks that are trying to go underneath you, you're pretty good against those decks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big problem is that the decks that are going underneath you, if they have the gut shot Snapcaster draws, it's pretty tough to win, and they can get underneath you. But if they don't have those cards in that correct
Well, Caverns saved that too. It's
configuration, then
yeah.
it's
The
rough.
reason that you needed the birds to live was to be able to resolve threat and hunt masters on the turns that you want to play Geist. But now that Cavern exists, it's not that needed, as we saw last game.
And Brendan Nelson also did a pretty good job there. He slow rolled that Cavern, and Daniel ended up keeping open Mana Leak mana on a turn where he could have,
There
could have
wasn't
potentially.
much more. I mean, he could have wasted a snap, right? He could
No,
have
he
done
could have
something.
Restoration Angel.
No, he missed his Seachrome post that turn. Remember?
Oh, the Secret
And then he
Ghost came
played
hit that,
Twisted. Yeah, and
but
then
he tapped. You're right.
and then he played Twisted Image and had just 2 mana free.
Okay.
So here is a multi-4. I want to see Delver. I want to. He's going to 3 cards now. All right, we have to tell Daniel that there isn't 1 minute left on the clock. He's not trying to stall out a win. I'm just kidding. He's down again. That's not how it counts. I tried to make something funny and it didn't work. It landed flat. Sorry about that.
A mulligan to 3.
So he has a deck of 60 cards and he only gets 1/20th of them in his opening hand.
5% of
That-
that deck in his opening hand.
Not too good.
No, not good at all.
There are less cards in his opening hand than there are Delver of Secrets in his deck.
Maybe he'll have a hand of Island Delver Delver. Flip, play Delver, flip.
That might be good enough.
That probably would win the game. Brennan would have to find a Restoration Angel.
Or you can just bonfire.
I hate Bonfire. I don't even like it in any matchup. I know I'm wild, but I would want to take it out in this matchup. I'd want cards to interact with my opponent.
You don't take out bonfire. Here. It's actually the amount of matchups you're actually supposed to keep bonfire in against.
All right, guys.
Sure
tell me if I'm
huge.
crazy.
The Esper control decks that have Lingering Souls, you keep bonfire in against those decks.
Yeah, against Lingering Souls, and it's a fireball in that matchup because it's slower.
Their planeswalkers,
yeah,
and
that's
it
fine.
gets their
I like it
Souls
there.
tokens out of the way.
But I want you guys to tweet at SCG Live and let me know if I'm just being crazy. Because I definitely feel like I don't like Bonfire against zombies or Delver. It's fine, it's in your deck, so play it. But I don't feel like Bonfire is that well positioned. It's not the end all be all card right now in Match, especially it not being that good against Trading Post. And that is important to know.
It's pretty bad against Trading Posts, I'll give you that.
Island Delver, we got Island Delver. Let's flip. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, no.
He tried to take it out of the state.
Yeah, he was just getting it ready. Oh, there's already a restoration. The game's over. It was fun while it lasted. Arc Trail not for 1, you for 2. So he did bring the Arc Trails in.
Okay. If he brought the Arc Trails in, he could have taken the bonfires out.
Geist! Ooh, stumble. All 4 drops. Draw like a 5th 4-drop. He did keep the Infernal Titan in. Oh!
That's not stumbling.
That is not.
Brandon Nelson at 21 now. And man, that Huntmaster's probably going to flip because Daniel doesn't have
no
any cards.
left.
Send.
No fear, buddy. No fear. He'll double block.
I imagine he will.
I don't think he would.
Definitely not. This one has no cards in it, and that's a Huntmaster the Faust.
And he has a Restoration Angel for it next turn.
And he has a Cavern of Souls in his hand.
Oh man, this is so bad. And an Infernal Titan. Man, I have to ask Brandon if he's ever flipped or blinked a Titan with a Restoration Angel. That seems dirty. I have not thought about that until this moment. I've never thought about playing Restoration Angel on a Titan. That's disgusting.
Really? Oh man, it's fun.
I mean, I definitely have my opponent had it, and I had images in the graveyard, and I just played Sun Titan, made Restoration Angel, blinked my Titan, made Restoration, blinked my Titan, and just made a chain that way so I could interact in the air. But I've never thought about playing actual Restoration Angel and Titans. He's gonna do this during upkeep. Did he actually do that during upkeep? Why? I could not see a reason.
He just wanted to take 2 and make his opponent's guide to a 4/4.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. Maybe trying to get Brandon to bite with the Restoration Angel. But that play only works if Brandon doesn't have a 4th land, and even if you make that play, then you still just lose.
Right,
Angel. Go.
I have a token. I mean, the board is 2 creatures versus 2 creatures. If Daniel top decked
Creature.
I can't think of anything you could top deck that would have mattered. Alright, Huntmaster flips back. Is Restoration... It looks like Restoration is blocking Angel. I think we're just going to have to say it blocks the Angel. Oh, I think it's blocking the Spirit token. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the Charizard was the Spirit token, and the Mewtwo was the
and last game it was the
Angel
other
this
thing.
time, so he was just a little bit confused based on the Pokemon that were being involved.
All right, so this is all but over, but when we're done with this, we're going to have a winner, and we're going to talk about a really ridiculous Magic card while they set up the finals.
Brandon forgot to flip that Huntmaster. That's
No, because he played a Restoration Angel.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Block the wrong creature. Daniel doesn't care at all.
Yes.
Gut shot. Oh, he can gut shot it. Oh, God. All right.
And
Take your
Brandon
turn.
turns the guy sideways and the game ends.
Terminus. He's threatening the Terminus that's not in his deck. All right, so Brandon takes the match. And he's going to the finals. We were going to have a Delverless finals, which is kind of sweet.
Yeah, I haven't seen Delver's finals in some time now. So Brandon Nelson, piloting his Niapod deck, going to be facing off against Stephen Hink, who's playing black-red zombies.
Yes, so we're going to come back. Hey, guys. Welcome back. I'm Brad Nelson, joined by...
Jacob Van Lunen.
And we have a winner for 6 months of premium. That is a whole ton of content. You've got Patrick Chapin, Brian Campbell, Mike Flores that just had a new book that's kind of awesome. Me, Gerald, my buddy Jerry, do GBTV and playtesting videos and stuff like that. But yeah, and like Matt Costa, and I'm gonna be done. We're gonna give the winner. Jackson Garvey at JT Garv. You have won yourself 6 months of premium. I don't know how you get contacted. I think they talk to you. But we will figure it out, and you will get 6 months of premium, and then you'll be able to come and watch some GVB, because GVB is fun. We play fun decks.
GVB is fun.
Yeah. We just started doing commentary over the videos. It's pretty sweet.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We did, like, Legacy, and it was...
What decks were you playing?
I was playing Rug Delver. He was playing a Show and Tell with Overmasters.
Oh, with like Omniscience?
Yeah. Or no, he didn't have Omniscience. He just was playing Overmaster. It was like the list he was working on for the mocks. But I beat him.
Overmaster's from Torment, and it's 1 red, and they can't counter the next sorcery you play.
Yeah.
And you draw a card?
Yep.
Is that card good?
I mean,
Overmaster?
it's very hard to beat because you like have to waste your counter spells on that. You have to waste your hard counters on that, or you know. It's kind of like
red. It can't get spell snared.
It's like if you have like 3 show and tells in your hand and no. It's great that we're talking about Legacy because we're gonna have Legacy later today.
Yeah.
It's really great because you know how if you have like 3 show and tells and you're playing against a counter deck but you don't have a threat, you just like run 2 of them out there trying to draw a threat. It's the same thing with Overmaster. Like you're forced to counter it. You just have to. You just add more cards. You're forced to counter. Like you can bluff an Overmaster, but your opponent, if he has a counter spell, is going to counter it. So if he lets it resolve, then you just have